Hey everybody, how you doing today? I've turned on the old record and I'm gonna do some old-fashioned channeled wisdom to bring some inspiration, a new lovely viewpoint to work with right now in present day times. Thank you for joining me in this experience. So how I'm gonna achieve this is I'm basically gonna close my eyes to get in the zone here, the zone with energy, okay? So everything communicates with energy. And basically turning off the human relationship with reality and going into a silent space within myself. The intention here is just welcoming my higher self, working with that inspiration to share a meaningful message that's going to empower all of us right now. I have no idea what it's going to look like. Don't know what the message is going to be. It's a little fortune cookie for all of us today. Okay. All right, apparently my higher self's already got something to say. She's talking to me about inspirations that I've been having to plug into energy. All right, so if I want to absorb a certain frequency in order to nurture my own spirit with that frequency, like filling up the cup of a certain kind of energy. Let's say you're going through a really chaotic time, might be nice to plug into some peace, right? But peace can be a reflection of all different kinds. I mean, you could plug into the baby bunny collective if you want to. What's that frequency actually look like? Are you draining that energy? No, it's an infinite wellspring. So I'm finding myself feeling that real raw, beautiful energy of the planet, for instance. So when I relax, I get connected to planet Earth, and it literally feels like threads of energy that are flowing into my being, okay? From the energetic mirror reflection that is what we define as planet Earth. I also plug into the stars, and I like feeling like a cosmic tree where I'm just stretched, okay? Stretched, comfortably stretched between the planet and the stars. It's really nice. And feeling centered within my heart. So I'm centered with source, okay? I'm centered in the heart and the spirit of my divine inspiration. This is not just a bunch of nice words. This is actually an action. Like, I'm going to go outside and go for a jog. So I can sit down here and be in an action of literally plugging in and absorbing frequency patterns depending on how I want to define them. So we have to use words, and then those words then help point the direction of what we're wanting to accomplish. So if we took words out of the equation and we were just silent, but we were expressing needs and exchanges of thoughts, that's frequency. There is a time in my life where I was exploring how I could have a conversation with God without saying anything at all. And I found it not as fulfilling as actually using words to speak and express myself. But one thing that I would do is I wouldn't say a word. I would just express how it felt, what I saw, okay, without words. And I would move through this energy of giving my personal representation, like what it means to me, this giving the frequencies to God. And then life isn't just giving energy, it's receiving energy too. So we can, have a nice big glass of water and we're receiving the physical experience of drinking water, but we're also receiving information, okay? So we can receive physically, but we can receive energetically as well. So if you want to pray, prayer is just making a connection. It's just plugging in. Who do you want to talk to? So why do you want to talk to them? Do you want something from them, or you just want someone to talk to? It doesn't matter. It's your choice, and it's cool. So you're sharing, okay? And then the exchange goes both ways. So you're sharing, and then the receiver now has something to share with you. All right, so open up and receive. So everything is kind of energy and flow all the time, energy and flow. So my higher self is wanting me to mention this here before I really get into the channeled wisdom. But one thing that I've shifted from connecting with the earth and the stars and heart-centered, I've been plugging into the ocean at my feet, so to speak. It's kind of interesting because when you're in water, you usually sink. But there wasn't the dynamic of a physical reality, and the ocean was just frequency. I mean, you could plug into that frequency, and what is that like? It's very, I don't know how to describe it. Just beautiful. Let's just say it's just beautiful. But that's pretty shallow. We're talking about water. It's a very shallow description of it. How do I put words to a sensation or an experience that I don't know if a vocabulary necessarily applies there? Just do it, okay? All right, so I've been plugging into the ocean at my feet, and then I've been plugging into Jupiter. I don't know why, I just felt on random like plugging into Jupiter. That's when I noticed that energies must be shifting, because I'm not inspired to plug into the same frequency patterns. I'm inspired to plug into new identities, new reflections of frequency patterns. I've also been plugging into the sun, and then plugging into the realm of the archangels. And so whatever words, because there are some very creepy words that you could on purpose plug into that. And what do you think you're going to nurture yourself with? And so if you want to plug into the landfill and actually absorb from, I don't know, a bunch of garbage. I've never plugged into a landfill. Maybe there's something more valuable there than maybe this is judgmental. Maybe I need to give it a try. But what makes me feel beautiful and clean and vibrant, my mind doesn't think of landfills off the bat. My mind thinks landfills are gross and stinky, rotten places. But it's somewhere to put stuff that we don't want anymore. So it just doesn't make me think, holy water versus polluted water. I'm going to plug into that polluted water and absorb that energy right on into myself. So you can ask yourself, if everything is frequency for start, and now somehow that frequency molds and shapes itself into physical stuff. So what is the physical stuff that you're drawing into yourself? What are you plugging into? How about the TV or radio or conversations like this YouTube video? I'm not giving you landfill, okay? You're plugging into my attempt to offer something beautiful and healing here, all right? You're plugging your mind into some new ideas, ways to empower yourself. Okay. But it's just an opportunity to think about it, all right? So I said all that stuff. Okay, higher self, we're in the zone here to share some good old-fashioned channel wisdom. All right, what else? Okay, she's asking me if I'm going to plug into the ocean and Jupiter. Like, what am I going to be plugging into something here and then connecting with her? I'm going to make a conscious choice to do this on purpose. It's not like I have to do this. Bam, I'm already talking to my higher self. Didn't have to plug into anything. Just bam, just already talking to my higher self. But I find it's nice to add the ingredient of choosing to sort of bless myself with certain frequencies that are pleasant, to just acknowledge that I want to connect with that and see what the magic and the inspiration is here. Okay, so I don't know. I tell her I want to plug into God, as I have a lot of good memories with God. A lot of conversations there. And that's when I was asking myself, why am I not plugging into God? That would be a cool one to just straight up, I'm plugging into God. Just below, above, within, around, I am plugging into God, as though God is some cool separate wellspring. And I want to draw from that wellspring, just like drinking a glass of water. I'm just encouraging those frequencies to blend with my frequencies in order to inspire new experiences. And so I'm welcoming, I'm an open door, welcoming the inspiration of that representation into my aura, okay? And so we're talking about God that is, to me, an almighty and loving being that comprehends me better than I can comprehend myself. An ultimate cosmic I. I've said this before, that one of the most powerful representations of love that God is that God is strong enough to let you suffer through in order for you to grow. God doesn't intervene. I think, imagine that you love someone so much that you had to watch them suffer and you didn't intervene because you knew that the suffering was going to transform them into the person that they wanted to be. But if you stood in the way of that, then you were denying their soul the blessing of that growth. And God is not denying my soul the blessing of this growth. And when I figured that out, which I didn't want to figure that out, I didn't like figuring that out. And sometimes you figure stuff out with the spirit realm and it takes time to sit with it. And you figure that out and you have respect. Because you know God's with you on this path no matter what happens, and that God's not going to intervene because you're strong enough to go through it. But God is there to listen. God is there to support you, but not to take it away. And so I respect God for that. All right. What else, higher self? I'm going to tell you guys another thing. My higher self asks, is that the message? Do we share the channeled wisdom? And I say, well, that was channeled wisdom, all right. I'll tell you guys what, whenever you connect beyond your human self, you could try to control it. Like, I need it to be like this logical pathway. Like point A to point B, I need it my way. Because how am I supposed to deliver a message to you guys to give you a feel for what you're stepping into if I myself don't have a freaking clue where this is going? I never know. So when I turn record on, I have no idea how to tell you guys what's about to happen. All I know is we're just gonna experience something. And this is truly how an infinite universe communicates. Let go, let go, let go, let go. You can't control any of this. Just let it flow, let it be random, and let it spark what the nurture and the needs are for the divine time that we're present in. Because that's the only moment we really have access to, is just right now. You know what I mean? And so this is what I've got, and I do agree with my higher self. This is a complete and whole message. And I'm glad that I could share this with all of you today. I hope you're doing well, and thank you for taking the time to watch. Bye for now.